Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome back to another Opera Omnia video. Just like several of our other videos, this video is sponsored by Square Enix, so thank you to them. If you'd like to check out Opera Omnia, click the link in the description of the video. With no stamina system for the main story, that's right, no stamina system, you can get caught up as quickly as you want. Today we'll be talking about the Quaestus character event, bringing Squall's teacher to the fray. She is a control character, able to slow down enemies and delay their actions. At the current time, she performs decently, but will eventually become much stronger once we are able to reach level 60 with her and obtain her EX weapon. Speaking of weapons, with her character event comes a pretty mixed bag of a character banner. Sarah's an okay battery style person if you lack some of the stronger ones. Her 35 CP helps a lot with this in particular, granting a big boost to the bravery she provides to the party and the buffs she receives. Vivi is an interesting one on this banner. He was actually just buffed to have more fire uses and his focus was in power, so against anything weak to fire, he can decimate bravery values. He caught me way off guard in the multiplayer. He's not top tier, but receives some nice boosts from his two weapons, so if you get a hold of them, anything weak to fire is just going to disintegrate. Quaestus is the real investment here. As stated earlier, she becomes a lot stronger once we get further into the game's life cycle. So you can choose to invest in her banner now, especially if you're interested in the other two characters, or wait until we get her EX weapon banner in the future to start throwing gems at her. I originally intended to do more pulls for her as sort of like a future investment, but I'll just do one here for the sake of the video. Spoiler, not a great pull. As for the Quaestus event itself, it's another relatively easy one that will see you facing off against two Tears Eyes. Man, I hate saying that name. These eyes are weak to Earth, Wind, and Fire, as well as have a low resistance against poison, speed down, and ranged resist down debuffs. They focus on mostly water attacks and become more threatening as the fight drags on. While both are alive, they mostly just focus on their standard bravery attacks and a bravery plus HP attack. They also have an AoE bravery attack which can inflict speed down on your team, so be careful of that. However, the first time you see them do an all cast ability, it's most likely going to be them buffing the pair with attack and speed up. On top of that, as soon as you kill one of them, the remaining one buffs its max bravery, attack, and speed, while following up every HP attack with an AoE defense down debuff on your party. Because of all of this bravery and HP damage that can come out, on top of the buffs that you can't dispel, it's best to either kill them really fast, or to debuff them to completely counteract all their buffs. Now you have two options here. Kill them both at around the same pace, or blow one up and deal with the empowered second eye. On the lower difficulties, this should prove easy enough no matter which strategy you decide to use, even up to the level 50 version. The EX mission can get a little bit tricky. Because of the 4 waves beforehand, definitely make sure you're hanging on to as many ability uses as you can manage. Any of the affinity characters work really well here, and of course the usual powerhouse picks of characters like Sazh and Aiko with their 35 CPs work great as well. Even then, I'd say you can actually make way more compositions work that don't just stick to these standard conventions. I had one with Tidus in there that was focused on debuffing them to counter the unremovable buffs they receive. Kuja worked really well for balanced damage on both targets, and honestly anyone who can take advantage of their numerous weaknesses does fairly well here. It's great that they have so many of them because it brings a lot more characters into the fray. I gotta say, if you do have a strong Vivi though, he was monstrously powerful on bosses when paired with Sazh, though he does lack any increased turn rate on his fire. He at least has it on focus if you have his 35 CP. As for summons, I just used Ifrit, but it's worth considering using Brothers as well here for the Earth weakness plus the extra max bravery plus. They are also weak to fire, and on top of that you have Sylph, Pandemonium. As long as it's making use of one of his 3 elemental weaknesses, then you'll have plenty of options against these eyes. However, when it came to multiplayer, Sylph is once again your go-to summon here. The wind element and quick charge rates work wonders, and this is one of those multiplayer bosses that can just fall over so fast with a triple Sylph summon. The same types of characters are great in EX as they are in the multiplayer, probably even a few more. Overall, this event was even a little easier than the previous week, and if you've not attempted EX missions or multiplayer yet, definitely hop in these ones and give it a try. Just try to follow some of the advice I gave you, and you should be fine. But anyway, that's going to be a wrap for our quick overview on the Quistis event banner and the Quistis event overall. And thank you again to Square Enix for sponsoring this video. If you want to check out Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia for your mobile devices, be sure to check the description of the video and use that download link. I can't stress enough how much I love the fact that the story has no stamina system. It's what got me into this game in the first place, because I could just sit down and play it for hours on hours on hours. But anyway, that's going to be a wrap for me. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned because we got more Opera Omnia videos coming in the following weeks. I will see all of you in the next one, and until then, take care.